The life-changing 18 holes ahead.
Good enough. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
One of our co-leaders, Lauren Coggan.
Beauty.
That is so sweet from Kiriakou. That is splendid.
Oh my gosh, what a shot.
Chasing major glory. They are. And you'd say that down to 5 for the title, Morgan. Would you go with that?
Yeah, you'd think 9 under right now, barring catastrophe from both Lauren and Stephanie at the top, which here they both have eagle putts, so I don't see that coming anytime soon.
First is Kiriakou.
An outside chance, about 2/3 of the way up. It will snap right, but then it will hold its line down the slope.
Excellent putt, excellent judge of speed, and gets it just beyond the flag. That's a nearly straight uphill putt for birdie upcoming. Well, we mentioned it. Lauren has had her share of eagles so far this week. Yesterday here at the same hole, the 9th hole, really jump-started her round. Lovely putt right there. And wasn't quite in the mix just yet, but certainly was with this shot here at 18, which is one of the shots of the tournament so far. Aggressive play, but it paid off. That lie was so difficult. Downhill, side hill lie with the fairway wood. Her husband talking her into that shot. Might as well pay it off, right? Little validation there, rolling that putt in. So finished her 9s, both 9s yesterday with an eagle, and this on a good line.
No eagle, but it's another birdie at a par 5. You look at the history of this event as a major. 9 of the 10 champions previously been ranked in the top 20 of the world heading into the week. These are 2 players outside the top 50. To 11, second for Tavatanakit.
Set up way right here, looking for some draw off the ball above her feet.
She looks in the mood. She stayed so patient for so long. And Foodaway in that situation, Incy, where she knows, surely in her mind, that the 2 ahead of her are going to make birdie. She's got to keep her pace.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to see her go for this, bearing in mind the circumstances, but she laid back. Let's see if it will pay off. A left edge putt.
No harm, no foul. It worked out in the end for Ayaka, but just a bit harder work for herself. Good roll.
Well, some of these chasers would love to mimic what Jenny Shin has done on the back 9. This is for birdie at 16. And that is her 5th birdie on the back. Moves her into the top 10.
It's certainly out there for the taking.
That Firefly has been following Kiriakou around a little bit on this front 9. Looking to be the first to get to 17 under par, which was the winning score last year for Celine Boutier.
I think she's too sweet, that's what it is.
Back again. And you just wonder whether that just distraction.
A little bit. I mean, you can block that out a touch. She looked like she was set up right. She just didn't look like she was playing any form of break, and it broke across the hole.
Missed opportunity. Not a drop shot on the card, led by one shot overnight, but looks as if she's going to head to the back nine, one behind. Nonchalantly done. Player who for a while was struggling to keep a card now is a real major contender. Lauren Coughlin in front.
Well, Hye-Jin Choi has moved her way into contention, but she's working hard here at the 10th. Trouble off the tee, so this is her third after eagling the 9th.
Also shows a bit of the break that Patty got to have a clear shot after a poor tee shot. Hye-Jin paying the price.
Now with Coughlin at 17, Kiriakou at 16, Choi can ill afford to drop a shot. To the 16th, and Gabby Lopez on the tee. This was just a moment ago. Wait for it. On delay.
Couple here, aces here on 16. Using the contour of the green to get it close. Will we see a hole-in-one the remainder of the day?
Well, these three in the final group, the rising star from Australia, the grinder from Virginia in the U.S., and the steady star from Japan, Ayaka Fudaway. They make the turn here in the final round of the Amundi Evian Championship, and Lauren Coughlin won back when the round began, now leads by one on the tee at 10.
Yeah, advantage to her as well. A great shape of a hole. It should suit her eye, working this left to right.
She just looks so steady. Her rhythm has just been stellar all day. Nothing has seemed to really faze her. She's still walking with the same pace, making decisions with the same pace, hitting shots with the same pace.
What a wonderful approach from Patty Tavatanakit, is to pay it off with the birdie. It's in.
Big birdie for Fudaway at 9. Here she is at 10. And that looks like Ayaka Fudaway. Quick reach for the tee. Doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
24 years old, so many chances to win on the LPGA Tour, including in major championships. Will this be the day? How will Steph Kiriakou respond to that hiccup at the 9th?
I just wonder if there's a little bit more zing behind that one after the previous hole.
Stop. It's in those same trees where Patty was. Similar result, drops straight down. We'll see when Incy gets up there and reports back on the lie.
She's number 100 in the world. But Steph Kiriakou, early in her LPGA career, third season out here looking for her first win, as is Lauren Coughlin. Celine Boutier, who's trying to break out a few years ago. Now she's a major champion. At the 8th, is that within champion range? Had 2 wins going into last season, then Celine won 4 times, including right here. At the 10th, Morgan, you got Coghlan at 17, Kiriakou, Boutier. This is Hedge and Choi. And, if it's going to happen, if there are going to be some the back 9 magic, feels like this is a must make.
It needs to get something. It needs to get this to go and make up for her poor tee shot here. It's a good place to putt from. Not a lot of break. And even though she's putting towards the lake, it's just slightly up the hill. 10th is a tough green to read for that reason. Playing it dead straight, it appears.
Yeah. Well, you never know. She was 6 back when she made that birdie at the 6th, made the eagle at the 9th. Might need a little help from the leaders. But Hedge and Choi knows what can happen late in a major. She was up at the top of the leaderboard, the 2017 U.S. Women's Open as an amateur. In the water late in New Jersey. Sung Yun Park went on to win the first of her 2 major championships. Padriana Rukarn has good memories here. She was in contention from start to finish in 2021, had a share of the lead after round 1. Twice she has won on the LPGA Tour and has had a very nice week. This is for par, though, here at the 10th.
Just a little bit inside right here, maybe just outside the edge, actually, if anything. She hasn't putted her best today. A part of her game holding her back a little bit, but this is a big par save here.
Yeah, 18 putts on the front with a couple of 3 putts. We saw Kiriakou go left off the tee. NC, if you had a chance to see what she has left.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, 156 yards. It's 13 on, but it feels and looks like a front pin located down the left half there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's not quiet.
No, I don't think 9.
No, I like this. So like, what are they like, open face punches?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just really difficult to control out of a downhill slope. Thick rough, the ball is sat down.
Yeah, and you're looking at that line.
Down, I think.
Yep.
Start?
Yeah. Right.
Kiriakou has to hit down on this and aim right off the flag, but just shy. You've got a steep slope. If you pitch there, it will stick. I wonder if she's going to play for a bit of a chaser.
Asking for it to go, needing a little bit of chase. Not a bad leave from that lie. You could tell how difficult it was to get the club through that rough.
Boutier next.
From 141 yards, I think she'll like this number. You're playing a little bit downhill, no breeze in the air. Either leaning on a 9-iron or just taking a bit off an 8. Probably just eyeing up 2 yards right of this flag.
chance for back-to-back birdies for Budaway. She had a 3-shot lead when the back 9 began yesterday. Kiriakou caught her. And now our leader, Lauren Coughlin, after a good tee shot.
I'd say a little bit more awkward. Pitching wedge just doesn't feel like enough, but I think this is what she has in her hand. Going full pelt there off a slight downhill slope. Oh, yeah.
And some major adrenaline maybe, Morgan?
I mean, she has just been dialed in with her ball striking. I mean, she's averaging, missing 1.5 greens a day around this treacherous golf course.
Nice toss to John Pond, her husband. So Kiriakou short of the green in 2, and Coughlin with a good look at birdie. As we take you to the 12th and Patty Tavatanikit.
Off.
She likes it right up the speed slot, right center. My goodness, that is way down there.
Patty T, 4 back and a couple of holes ahead, and now those smiles that we didn't see yesterday are coming out for the former UCLA Bruin. At 14, were you surprised at the hole location here, Morgan?
I was
today?
surprised when I saw this whole location today. Typically the lovely shot there. Typically it's on the back right in this 14th hole, which is so difficult. You wouldn't see nearly as many birdies. 8 birdies so far today on that 14th hole. Definitely a bit easier with that whole location.
So Henselite with the pitch in. Now solo 6th after a top 10 at the Chevron Championship. That is her focus this year. It's what she worked on last season in the off season. This is not a bad place to spend the off season or any season. And back short up the 10th, the 3rd for Steph Kiriakou.
Looking to pitch just about 5 or 7 yards onto that front edge and maybe just trickle a little bit right to left. She's normally quite good at these shots, so I'd back her to make the up and down.
Smart money.
Scrambling actually not her strength, at least statistically, on tour, but made that one look really easy.
Just a moment ago at the par 3 16th, Pei-Yun Chen of Taiwan.
Which direction is she going to take? Is she going to take the slope or go right at it?
Nickname is Money.
Wait for it. Oh, no. Is it going to stop there, Grant? It has to go down that hill.
I'm not giving up yet. I'm betting on Lake Geneva. Money. Cashes in. With interest.
That has to be the longest it has taken a ball in a hole-in-one to get to the hole. That was very dramatic, just as you'd expect on the shores of Lake Geneva.
She could have actually beaten the ball to the green there.
That was awesome. Boot away for birdie at 10. How many right in the heart of the cup the first 3 days, Morgan?
Yeah, she putted so beautifully the first few days. Had her first 3-putt of the week today. It didn't look like the same stroke of what we've seen. She's been standing up on some of them a little bit early.
By the way, Pei-Yun is going to earn a little extra cash That moves her into a tie for 7th. She's a player who every year puts herself a couple of times each season in contention on a Sunday. Not really in contention at all this week, but what a memory.
No car, though.
And what a bummer, because the Porsche had already been claimed by Jody Ewart-Shadoff back on Thursday. Just one available. Well, for Lauren Coughlin, a chance for a 2-shot lead for birdie at 10.
That's her second lip out in the last 3 holes. Lipped out, caught that edge, the low edge on 8 as well. All similar putts of about 10 feet or so.
She played that hole well, though.
She's played almost every hole very well.
You think about the first where she missed the fairway into the fairway bunker as we take another look. Scrambled there for par. And then immediately the birdie at 2, the birdie at 3. And she hasn't looked back.
This is at the par 4, the dogleg 11th, where we just saw Patty Tavatanakit make a fabulous 3.
Let's take a look here at this 11th hole where the leaders will be heading here shortly. This tee shot plays uphill 12 yards. It's a sweeping dogleg to the left, the most severe uphill hole on this golf course. Ideally, just want to avoid those bunkers on the right. Often players hitting less than driver to leave you with the ball well above your feet. Again, hitting uphill to this green all the way back is the whole location today. The most accessible on this green. It's playing right at about even par for the field so far today.
And to give some sort of added perspective to that front 9 from Lauren Coughlin, 31. No one has gone as low as that on the front 9 today.
Fader of the golf ball, so this won't suit her eye, heading towards the trees and just skirted under. Now perfect.
It's a risky shot, very dicey shot, taking that up the left, but it is in prime position right now and on the flatter area of the fairway.
Foodaway found the right fairway bunker yesterday, and there's at least 5 of them. So maybe taking a slightly further left of a line, but still looking to favour that right half. Everything kicks right to left.
Nice shot.
Just a brilliant tee shot from Patty Tavatanakit. Here's her second.
It's such an advantage to be this far up. 118 wedge in hand.
Club twirl and a snap. Is that all it takes? I'm going to try that one. 11.
Kiriakou.
So important to find the fairway here with where the flag is right at the back. You want maximum control coming into this green.
Good play there. Went with less than driver to stay short of those bunkers up the right. Leave her a little bit of a longer shot in than that of Lauren's.
Up on the green to get to 13 under for Hyejin Choi. Hole's not running out yet, but when you're 5 back, you need a big, big finish over this closing stretch if you're Hyejin Choi. Lauren Coughlin at the top. Down the back nine we go in the fourth major of the 2024 season, the Amundi Evian Championship. Bottom of the page there, you saw Hyo-Joo Kim shot a round of 67, the champion here a decade ago. Been a while since that birdie at the third for Anna Ewing. And the wait goes on.
Just think about yesterday where it looked, Richard, like almost she couldn't miss. And then here just struggling to get any momentum today.
So Ewing in neutral. LA Celine. There's a lot of love for Boutier after what she did a year ago. French winner on home soil, playing with Anne Van Dam and another Evian champion in Lydia Ko in this final round. She said when she arrived at the golf course this week, she didn't want to hand back the trophy. And through 2 days, there looked like a chance that she may have the opportunity to be the first person to defend it here in Evian as a major. But triple bogey down the first hole yesterday put paid to that. And Van Dam, you saw, was in with a round of 72. Lydia Ko is for a round of 70.
Richard mentioned that if she were to win in Canada, which will be her next start, that would be fitting to earn a spot in the Hall of Fame. An Olympic gold medal would not be a bad way to do it either.
No. The first of her 20 wins came in Canada, is that right?
That as an amateur. Month after winning the U.S. Amateur. Youngest ever LPGA winner.
Well, she may not have been in contention, but like a year ago, the crowds have been drawn to Celine Boutier, who gave all of us who were there, I'm sure you watching as well, great memories. She followed that win with another victory on her very next start as well in Scotland. This to close out 2024 in Evian with a birdie. One more cheer for Boutier in France.
And maybe some more next month.
She would love that, yes. At the Golf Nacional. So while she finishes, there's work to be done to follow her into the winner's circle here in Evian. Kyriakou.
Hit a hold shot here up against the lie that she was faced with, ball well above her feet. And leaves it in that same spot where we just saw the previous group putt from. Both players struggling to get the ball to the hole.
Patty Tavatanikit for birdie.
Right centre putt and firm.
Look out for Patty T. She is not done yet. She is within 3.
Just a different day from what we saw from her yesterday, where she couldn't get anything to fall. She gave herself so many opportunities.
Within 4, just to clarify. Oh, that does.
No, you're right. The leaderboard
Oh,
just isn't updated yet, Grant.
yeah,
She
it
is
is
at 14 under.
All right, so that moves her to 14.
Lovely shot in. Really was. Such a good-looking swing from Kyriakou. Coughlin now.
108 playing a 111, flag right at the bag, only 5 yards beyond it. Beautifully controlled with the gap wedge.
Smart play, leaving it below the hole. Not much room beyond that flag stick today. Don't want to get too greedy.
And a little putt out coming up.
Who's first? Yeah.
At 11 between our front two. Coughlin at the moment has the upper hand, but just by one shot. So back-to-back birdies. 13th tee for Patty T.
And it's a tough tee shot, turning from right to left. 263 to carry. The bunker is on the right. And it's heading that way.
Well, the Marshall's got it in the rough. Three down. The two on the left, the Chevron Championship, that went to Nelly Corder. The KPMG Women's PGA to Amy Yang. The one behind the Amundi Evian Championship, that went to Yuka Saso, the US Open. St Andrews still to come next month for the AIG Women's Open. And it's obligatory, you have to go down there. Be there, take a photo of them. Silver glistening in the sun. That trophy will be handed over at 18 in a, well, couple of hours, you'd say. There is one of those trophy holders, Nelly Corder.
What a performance that was, Richard, on the way to her 5th straight victory. Chevron Championship beauty there.
The longest of the birdie putts here at 11 for Foodaway.
Drifting right to left.
So close. I think the leaderboard, in terms of Coughlin first, Kyriakou second, Foodaway third, kind of reflects what we have seen so far. Not much between them, though, as is the case with these birdie putts. Who's going first, Incy?
Looks like it's Coughlin to go first, but it's quite a tough putt to read. Standing on the ball side, it absolutely looks like a left to right putt, because just behind her, if she was to stand over the ball, there's this big slope. But standing on hole side, it almost looks right to left. So I wonder it's going to be a lot straighter overall than what we think.
Key here, and is just getting this to the hole. It's a bit slower than the players think up the hill, the very back part of the green. Pretty severely sloped.
Similar situation to what we had at 7, where they had very similar kind of putts. Coughlin didn't make hers, Kyriakou did. And if we're looking at strengths of the game, Morgan, when it comes to greens and putting, this isn't Coughlin's strength, and you would say it is for Steph.
Well, it hasn't been in the past. I would say that Lauren has definitely made tremendous improvements in her putting this season. This new putter that she put in her bag in the spring, in March, has really vaulted her into contention, I think, at the Chevron Championship. Really one of the first weeks where she played under immense pressure very well, and you know, she's such a fabulous ball striker. You see it time and time again with great ball strikers, that it's the weeks where their putters start to click. We've seen it with Patty's round today. That's when they find themselves in contention.
So this to join Coughlin at 17 under.
Maybe a touch of a pull there, Richard, similar to the couple strokes that we saw yesterday on 15 and 16 towards the end of her round.
This is where Kiriakou joined Foodaway at the top yesterday, made a brilliant 3 out of the fairway bunker, but no 3 today for the Australian.
At the 12th, Hejin Choi.
Ball well above her feet, but trying to get something to fall right to that hole location. And that's the risk you can take when you try and use the slopes here. It can really repel golf balls. It's a very delicate balance between having the slopes help your ball and having the slopes repel them.
Going along really nicely, Esther Henselite. Tripped up at 11 yesterday, but played really well this week. Is that going to get there? Heading for a second top 10 in the majors this season. That's the ball of Patty Tavatanakit.
And once again, Richard, a little like the 10th, a good break here for Patty. It's a good lie, 170 to the flag, 160 to the front edge. That's right around her number. It should release up a bit. Friendly hole location.
Talked earlier about getting some good breaks. Think about the break off 10, off a poor tee shot. The break here could set up for a birdie for Patty and get her within 2.
So the lead remains 1 for Lauren Coughlin as she tees it up at 12.
Expecting a slightly softer bounce for Coughlin, shaping the ball left to right, pretty much pitching the ball on a right to left slope. The further up and left you can go down this fairway, the better.
She's very level with her swing today, and it has produced just brilliant ball striking.
Foodaway next.
I think this is an awkward tee shot for her because she does shape the ball quite a bit actually, right to left, which forces you to aim further right for the severity of the right to left slope. But then if it hangs up in the rough, it doesn't quite come down.
That'll be okay. Gets a little bit of a good break off the right side of that bunker. Looks like she has a stance.
She struggled to find fairways on the early part of the back nine this weekend as Kiriakou gets ready here.
A little bit touch and go in carrying these 2 fairway bunkers down the left-hand side. I'd imagine she's going to try and take it on. Still need control though, out of bounds left. Picking the tee up quickly, that's always a good sign.
And she'll have a chance to go first. Said she likes to have a chat on the course, wants to keep it light in the middle of the biggest moment of her career. 16, Esther Henseleit. So we don't even need to ask if this is coming down, right? We just need to ask if it's going in. Slight misread. That'll be a tap in for Henseleit to get to 11 under. Hedge and Choi at the 12th for birdie. Not a bad lag, but 5 back with 6 holes to go. Still too close to call. 17, 16, 15, 14. With Lauren Coughlin leading the way, the final group at the 12th here in Evian. Well, Angela Stanford is making what will be the final walk up the 18th of her fantastic LPGA career. Joined the tour back in 2001 out of TCU in her beloved hometown of Saginaw, not far from the TCU campus in Fort Worth. Very early in her career, Morgan, she had a chance to win a major. The 2003 U.S. Women's Open, lost a playoff to Hillary Lunke. And she told me earlier this week that had she won that U.S. Open, she might not have played as long as she did, chasing that elusive major that she finally grabbed here in 2018.
It's an emotional day here for Angela, playing in what we all believe will be her final major. I can sense the emotion on her face right now. She looks like she's holding back some tears, just taking some deep breaths. You can see it in her eyes. And just knowing that she's given it all that she has, going to make me cry sitting here watching this. It's quite a moment here.
And you should know, full disclosure, we love her. She is part of our Golf Channel team. No apologies.
No, I'll let you two wipe your eyes. We'll join Paddy Tavatanakit at 13. What a move she's making. Well, that would have got her alongside Food away at 15 under. Still chances to come. 2 par 5s that are very much in reach for her. And talking of par 5s in reach, she's not shone at her brightest this week, Nelly Corder, but this would be the way to bow out. This for an eagle 3. Yeah. Of course she does.
If I'd have told you at the start of the week that Nelly's going to make an eagle on Sunday at 9, you might have thought, big charge, maybe.
But given the last month and the dog bite and the missed cuts, that's a sign of some promise.
And back at the 12th, a little bit of work left for Hedge and Choi. We keep saying it. You feel like it's coming for Hedge and Choi. Maybe not this week. Such a talented player. Looking for her first LPGA win, a dozen on her home tour back before she joined the LPGA Tour, the KLPGA. Our final group waiting for the green to clear, as it is now, and Ayaka Foodaway is going to go first. And Incy, how about the lie and the stance here?
Ball sitting up okay, but it's quite a bit below her feet, and with this lie I'm expecting a bit of release, and with where that flag is positioned, it makes it very awkward and difficult to get it close because there's a big slope just short right of the flag. So depends if she fancies running this one up. If so, I'd imagine she'll be finishing left of the flag here.
Just coming out of the rough, unable to control that. It's a fabulous line that she had. Almost all she could do from that spot without trying to be risky and land it into that upslope.
The guy on the green.
Yeah, just a little right, nothing crazy. Right, trust it. This is you, yeah?
Yeah.
The guy in the green is right of this pin. So 148, I'd imagine looking to open up an 8-iron a little bit, but you don't want to fight this slope with the ball above your feet too much. Playing for a bit of height and carrying that right slope.
Safe play there.
Well, we know that Lauren Coughlin loves to shape shots. She's got an opportunity here from the fairway at the 12th.
As she's
Yeah, it's
talked.
tricky. I mean, with that flag on the right-hand side and the ball way above your feet, naturally encourages you to hit a draw, but it's not a shape you want to be hitting at this flag. If anything, you want to be cutting the ball into the pin.
As she's talked about how much work she's put into these uneven lies coming into this week. She knew what this course would demand. Said that courses like Palos Verdes and Lancaster really caught her out. But her coach, John Llewellyn, told me that in their practice sessions, they've been going down to the middle of the driving range. When it's been empty, dropping balls, hitting a number of shots on those varying lies. That one, unfortunately, caught her out there. But the key has been trying to not fight the lie, trying to let it do what it wants to do, just aim for it and trust it. And honestly, she's done that better than anybody else this week.
Another Evian champion playing with Angela Stanford, Brooke Henderson. And a little bit like she did in 2022 with the putter, gets it to fall.
That's what I think about when I think about that whole location. Is that putt that Brooke made right here on this green.
Yeah, she says, where's that been all week? Nicely played, another look. With Coughlin and Kiriakou facing long-range birdie putts at the 12th. Patty Tavitanigan on a heater. 3 birdies in the last 5 holes. 3 back here at the 14th.
176. It plays 8 yards downhill, but it is an accessible flag on the left.
Oh, that's a risky shot, but it's a good lead now. Aggressive play, missing that whole location to the left, but ends up in the low part of this left side of the green.
Got 2 par 5s to come. This the 102nd major championship for Angela Stanford. She's got this for par. When she won here back in 2018, didn't have family or friends here. The next year she brought her mother, Nan, who was battling cancer, brought her friends, Bart and Kathy Tucker. Her mom, Nan, Dad, Steve were there December of 2020 when Angela won close to home in North Texas. Only time they saw her win on the LPGA Tour. The Tuckers are here to celebrate with her this week as she rides off into the sunset. Angela, you are a credit to the game. a dear friend. Well done. No one waited longer to win their first major than Angela Stanford. Her 76th try came right here. And now, the tears flow. One last look. She said she cried the first time she flew to Evian, 2006. Didn't want to leave home, didn't want to travel abroad. And look at this gesture from Jacques Bongier, longtime tournament director. The bouquet, and the recognition of a great champion. There'll be tears for someone in this group, it looks like. Lauren Coughlin for birdie at 12. So that's a par putt coming up. How about food away, Incy?
You had a fluffy lie and had about 8 feet, 7 feet to go to try and save a par. That was a tricky putt for Coughlin. Left to right to start off with, swoop the other way, and for Kiriakou a little bit more straightforward, I would say. Overall uphill. So you can afford to be a bit more aggressive with this one. It should be overall a left to right putt. Final stretch maybe just flattens out.
It's an important putt right here with Lauren in the first bit of trouble she's really found today. Some work left for par.
Should be a 4 for Kiriakou. That scramble at the first from Lauren Coughlin seemed to set the tone for her. She was at a fairway bunker off the tee. And yeah, Coughlin now in front, but that lead is in danger. Food away, 2 back, and a big putt for her as well.
Yeah, work to do. Definitely want to be making this one. Absolutely moving off her left. I'd imagine just outside of the cup. We made an excellent save on round 2. Similar sort of read, left to right. She's made some clutch putts so far in this tournament.
And see, especially on putts just like this, left to right, she has done such a good job of keeping the ball on her line, staying low through the putt with the putter head. Just carried a fraction too much pace there to take the break.
Before Coughlin's putt for par, Patty Tavatanakit has this to get to 15 under.
And probably one of the best looks you can have on this green coming back up the hill. Slide it just a bit from left to right.
Patty Tavatanakit is right in the middle of this. All those lip outs a couple of days ago from Patty T are falling today.
I mean, what a difference a day makes. That was her 21st putt of the day there through 14 holes. Yesterday had 35 putts through 18 holes. And Patty is right in this championship.
She was 5 shots back earlier today. She could be 1 back. This is Coughlin for par.
No doubt will be feeling double the length.
How about that one?
Just honestly ice in her veins with that putt right there. That was solid. The biggest test that she has faced today, and John knows it.
Oh, no doubt. He's got the game face on. This is an O lineman here. Tap in for Kiriakou. How about what she said, that the experience playing under the spotlighted chevron would pay off today for Coughlin?
Oh, there's no question. You learn how your body handles the pressure, reacts to these types of situations, and my top 3 at the Chevron Championship looking to do a little better here.
Well, the Coughlin make and the boot away miss is going to mean Ayaka has a lot of work to do. 3 down with 6 to play. I mean, this has been an amazing day already with the goodbye to Angela Stanford. Big move from Coughlin and Kiriakou, and now Patty Tavatanakit joining the fray. We had the ace that was worth the wait from Pei-Yun Chin back at the 16th, and here's her third at 18. She won't need to wait on that one. That'll be for birdie, and Pei-Yun Chin is going to have that to get to 7th place alone. 8 on you on the tee at the 16th. This will merely be outstanding. Not perfect, like Pei-Yun.
Driver, as you would expect, in the hands of Patty Tavatanakit, who is now within touching distance of the lead.
Richard, I think if she catches this one and gets it down the right half, she can get there in 2. She can certainly get close.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Got to find the fairway. Looks like she has. You in our camera just blocked out there. Just confirm that is on the short grass.
It's not only on the short grass, it is miles down there.
Chasing Lauren Coughlin, who's now at 13.
It's a strong hole, dog leg right to left, with 2 fairway bunkers down the right. Going for the high route. Hold up. Yeah, good now.
They're going to stick to that left side of the fairway.
I'd imagine Kiriakou's capable of absolutely beasting this one. Second bunk on the right-hand side is about 260 to reach. As long as you pitch left of it, it can get a big shoot down. It's a strong hole, this 13.
Beauty. There's an 8-hour time difference from here to Sydney in Australia. I'm sure mum, dad, sister, the dog are all still glued to the television. What's it just gone midnight?
Yeah, importantly, the dog right, Richard.
Uh-huh.
Bit of an awkward tee shot for Foodaway. She struggled a little bit on this hole over the last couple of days. Missed it right, found the bunker. So definitely needs to aim slightly further left.
Yeah, hit the speed slope.
All 3 players there. Beautiful tee shots on the hardest fairway to hit today.
8 on you for a birdie at the 16th. Quite as dramatic as Pei-Yun Chin's ace, but does take a little victory lap and drops in, and she moves to 10 under. Pei-Yun Chin did make that at the 18th, so Pei-Yun shoots
Hyejin Choi just off the green at 13.
Well, last year, Paula Rito had the lead after the opening round here at the Evian Championship. And to finish with a flourish here for Eagle.
T moved up today. That is the 8th eagle on 18 today. It is still up for grabs. There is a lot of opportunity for movement here on these last 6 holes.
Moves her into the top 10, that eagle.
Well done. Keeps her at 9 under, just inside that top 10 for Pujari and Narukan. Such a glorious afternoon. We did have that rain on Friday evening, but that apart, the weather really has behaved to tidy up. Walk off with a 4 here at 13, Hyejin Choi.
Walking off with a 4 in the hardest hole in the golf course. You'll take it. Especially beautiful chip, delicate pitch down that slope.
Well, just after that 4th 2 of the round, it was so nearly a 1 at 16 for Esther Henseleit. She's had such a trouble off the tee here, so only here in 3. So this to try and avoid a 3rd bogey of this final round.
This has some good movement. Richard off the bunker. Quick putt towards the lake.
So that takes her out of solo 6th to be joined by Pei-Yun Chen and Hee-Run Yu at 10 under.
I mentioned the top 10 only because that does get you back next year.
And I'm also thinking of Rolex ranking points and potential Solheim Cup points, exactly, because there's a lot on offer here this Sunday in Evian.
A lot of players know they're going to play Evian every year because they're so high in the Rolex rankings, or they've won. For those like Pei-Yun Chen, it's a big finish for her.
That's kind of where I'm at. Well, we got wind in, we got that lie. And as long as we're on or just on this pin, it's flat. If we're at it or just left of it, it comes back to the hole. I mean, the wind's up there. I think it's turned around. You good with that? All right, got a good target? All right.
They definitely have some sort of process going on, don't they? 157 flag. However, it does play just shy of a club downhill, so 148 is your playing yardage.
Opportunity for redemption with the ball above her feet here. Aimed well right to allow the ball to come left.
It's been a ball striking exhibition from Lauren Coughlin. I mean, you look at her and Kiriakou, never really in this position in a major before. They haven't dropped a shot between them.
I also feel like there's something to that pairing as well, Richard. Neither of them really having been in that position. Neither of them having that intimidating resume of, let's say, a Patty T if she were to be in this pairing as well. So they can kind of play off of each other in a slightly, and when I see slightly, I mean very slightly, less nerve-wracking final grouping here.
Well, from what we're seeing, that seems a really valid point. 2-8, still in this though.
And it's an accessible flag as well, Richard. This front left one, you've got a backstop beyond it. You've got a right to left slope just right of it. So really, if you just pitch it on the front portion, carry that front edge, you've got a great chance of this ball trickling towards the flag. So 147 is the playing yardage of a slight downhill slope as well. So just an easy 8-iron.
You mentioned what's to come with 18. 18 is playing to a lower scoring average than 2 par 4s on the golf course today, and this is one of them. 13 playing at 4.28 scoring average. 18 playing almost closer to a par 4 at 4.22. A couple lovely shots right there.
This is the right shot, yeah? You got this.
Kiriakou wanting to get this close, right in her wheelhouse. 145 playing yardage. Going for it with a 9-iron.
On board, but a little disappointed. Well, we question, can she get there? Ewan, can she?
She certainly can. In 3 and 5 wood, she has the 5 wood, 227 to the front, and this is an accessible pin on the left.
Started out right. Is that coming back? I don't think it is.
That will be a very difficult shot upcoming. Everything sloping away from her there, off a bit of a downslope. Looks like it just fortunately missed the volunteer there, Richard.
Yeah, ducked out of the way in quick time. Paddy Tapatanica, 2 back.
To the tee at the 14th, Adriana Rukarn, tied for 6th.
Bottom tier across the road today for the tee box.
She done it. Oh, my word. She had an ace. The 13th hole of the KPMG at Sahali and nearly repeats the feat here.
How did this not go in? I mean,
See if it does here.
I like this move, taking dead aim, not dealing with the slopes, and just short, just shy.
That will get her back to 10 under and a share of 6th.
And I mentioned on the lower tee box today here on this 14th hole, a little bit of a better angle to this left hole location on the back left side. A bit surprised the hole location's not down on the right today. Playing about middle of the pack, even par, have been 10 birdies.
You mentioned the tee moved up at 18. This was the second for Akie Iwai of Japan.
A little bit of a backstop there. Will it come back?
She's had a great week. Got in off of her Rolex ranking. Top 50 are eligible. She'll have that for her 3rd eagle of the week.
We're back on the 13th green.
There's a dark patch about just shy of halfway, I would say, of this putt. About 2 cups right. I think that's a really good starting line for Kiriakou. Uphill most of the way. And it's just going to gently break.
Sit down. Steady now.
Well, we saw the tap-in birdie from Adriana Rukarn. Hedgen Choi hit a good one in here. All but ends Hedgen's chances.
See no action, how she knew she really needed to make that putt.
So on 13, Coughlin with this one-shot lead over Kiriakou, who's still got work to do for par. Food away 3 off the lead.
It's definitely starting to feel quite tense out here. You can just feel it. The spectators all leaning over each other. Similar sort of read right to left as well for food away.
I've gotten a good idea of just how fast this putt is. It still gave it a lot of pace.
Really good effort. Top 10 machine. She admitted the fact that she hasn't won this season probably was the reason why she won't be heading to the Olympics. What's the lie like for Patty Tavatanakit?
Well, Richard, it's a good lie. It's back into the breeze and she has about 60 feet of green to work with, and I still don't think she can land this on the putting surface. She'll have to land this in the trough to short, and watch how quick this is when it gets on the green. This could be really good.
That was a very interesting play. Went with a bit of a different shot there, Ewan. Didn't try to land it on the putting surface. Still able to get it to stop.
That was superb. She's got great imagination, Patty Tavatanakit. Could be a big moment here, Incy.
Yeah, it's had a good look as well. What previous 2 similar putts have done. So should have a decent idea of line and pace. Once again, right to left.
One of the reasons why this whole location, this hole specifically, is played so tough today. I mean, saw how much break those putts of Lauren and Ayaka had. Just almost turned dead sideways.
Husband and wife on a Sunday stroll. Meanwhile, one of those for Kiriakou.
Yeah, and there's a lot of movement around this green, Richard. A lot of the spectators now moving on. So Kiriakou is going to have to focus in with this one. It's important. Ever so slightly left to right, quite like left edge, in fact.
So solid.
Similar to the putt that Lauren made on the last hole, Richard. Very clutch there from Steph.
Born to it, these two. You never know how you're going to feel, how it's going to go, but they have shone in the spotlight.
We saw that outstanding approach at the 18th from Akie Iwai. This for Eagle. At the moment, she's alone in 10th. A few players still behind her who could catch her or pass her. We'll see if she opts to come to Q Series. Should see her at the AIG Women's Open.
And probably a twin sister as well.
Yeah, and at the very last week to qualify via the Rolex rankings, her sister Chisato dropped out of the top 50 by a couple. Well, you cross the street to get over to 14. Look out here. Well, look out. I mean, it's never easy.
Not much has been able to take her out yet today, and
I'd say that's the only stumble she's had in this final round.
Yeah. Rock solid today. Nearly gave up the game back in 2017. Her college coach, Kim Llewellyn, said, "You can do it. Give it a shot." She had been playing professionally for a while. Went to Q Series that fall, finished tied for 7th, made it to the LPGA Tour. Lost her card first couple of years. Got to the Pelican event in the Tampa area. a couple of years ago, needing a good finish just to keep her card. She did, and she hasn't looked back. She has good seasons each of the last 2 years, finishing 66th, the career best on the CME points list last year, and now the best of her 6 seasons on the LPGA Tour, and perhaps today, major championship glory. One up on the tee at 14.
The flag's in a bit of a mini bowl, I would say. 176, but playing from elevation, so 168, playing yardage. I'd imagine a 6-iron would be perfect.
Trying to use that slope to get to come a little closer to the hole.
The thing is, if this lands over the pin, it's bouncing along, it's not stopping, that's why. Over the pin.
Well, this would be a special up and down if Patty Tavatanaka can hold the putt.
Certainly would, and it's from a great position back up the hill.
Another one of those lip outs.
Yeah, that was low and had too much space.
A nice one.
Good to cover, good to cover.
Yeah.
All right, big par save for Kiriakou at the 13th. Here she is at 14.
You're definitely better off a little bit short than long right. That can leave you with a very awkward and treacherous putt. Might as well go for it from this angle. Teeing up on the right side, pin on the left.
Drawing a little bit. Bit of a crapshoot when you try to use that slope on the left. Went beyond the green into the deep rough. Take a look and see. A little bit of a pull, typically tends to go long. Shuts the face down. Looks like it may be sitting up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm standing on the other side of the green. I can see the top half of the golf ball, but either way, she will be short-sided. Foot away now. Have you learned anything? You're definitely better off pitching this slightly shy, allowing for a little bit of release if possible. It's a safer shot.
A little bit like her miss that we saw yesterday, a little bit underneath it into outswing plane, leaving the face open a little bit through the ball.
Not being able to cash in at this par 5, Patty Tavatanaka. Three holes to play, 2 shots adrift for the Chevron Championship winner of 2021. Look at the crowds making their way down 14. They're being entertained by the final 3 ball, all 3 in with a chance. What a wonderful afternoon it's been. In the heat of the battle, Steph Kiriakou just making sure she's got enough energy for these closing holes. A little snack.
A chance for Patty Tavatanaka to post a number with a couple of players trying to win for the very first time ahead of her. At least at the moment. She's on the tee at the par 3 16th, where we've already seen an ace today, and if you can find that right spot, you can hit it close or maybe in. Ewan?
Yeah, it's a great hole, isn't it? You could see a 1, you could see a 5, because that water is in play. Paddy's been delivering terrific shot after terrific shot.
That's another way to do it.
Brings herself below the hole. That's a very confident shot, taking that hole location on.
Georgia Hall finishing up at the 18th. She's got to be happy just to get through 72 holes.
Yeah, she wasn't sure on Thursday morning if she would be able to tee it up. Struggled with a bit of a shoulder injury that she aggravated warming up in the Pro-Am on Wednesday. Forced to pull out of the Pro-Am, but gets through 4 rounds here. And right now is in the top 15.
A lot of work for Steph Kiriakou at the 14th. One back, and she's missed the green. But we do see some of the ball here, Incy.
Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. It's sat down a little bit, but she's got enough room where she can get the club underneath, and she's been chipping beautifully for this championship so far. It's so important to maintain the speed. She'll probably open up the club face a little bit, but the biggest bonus is that she's pitching it on the dark patch of the green, which means it's on an uphill patch, so it should stop quite quickly.
Yeah, you can see she's choked way up on this, has the face wide open. Just went a little bit underneath it. Didn't keep the acceleration up like you mentioned.
She's part of a talented group of young Australians on the LPGA Tour. Kari Webb, when she played the ShopRite a couple of weeks ago in Atlantic City, talked about how close-knit that group of Aussies are. Anna Green, who's got a major championship and a couple of wins this year. Grace Kim already has a victory in her young LPGA career. And Steph Kiriakou is part of that. And that camaraderie has meant so much to Steph. Ayaka Pudaway is trying to give Japan another major championship. She's got a long one here for birdie, 14.
And it's amazing, no matter where you go around the world, there just seems to be that support. Obviously, being from Japan, it's a long way away from home, so it's very warming to see, to say the least. Pudaway putting through a bit of a junction, overall right to left, but the second half of this putt is very shiny, and it will get a bit of a kick at the very end to the left.
Is it enough? It is. Look out. Ayaka is back.
Prime example of how you can never give up. She's been knocking on the door, hasn't been able to get anything to drop, but just been hanging tough. And wasn't her best approach here, but you can make up for a lot of things with a good putter. And just like we saw all week for the first 3 days, especially, never left the center of the hole.
She came from well off the pace to win her only LPGA title a couple of summers ago in Scotland. Shot 62. Now she is in the thick of it. And Lauren Coughlin has this for birdie to extend her lead to at least 2.
It's a pretty scary putt. Downhill, very fast. Easy to miss this on the low side, so you want to tell yourself, I'm going to miss it high, but of course you want to make it.
She's hit some good ones, Morgan, that haven't gone in.
Yeah, she's burned quite a few edges today. That, as Incy said, was a very, very quick putt, so not one that you were going to get too aggressive with. But it was a good-looking stroke, and that's all you got to keep telling yourself is, I hit the putt where I wanted to, it just didn't go in.
So Kiriakou has a par putt to come in a moment to stay one back.
Better late than never. A couple of birdies the last 3 holes from Pujari and Arukan. You've seen how slick it is on this green. That's delightfully played from the tight.
A par putt for Steph Kiriakou to stay one back.
Feels like a must-make, doesn't it? Just to keep the pressure there, not drift too far back up the hill. Going to be quite slow.
She did. I don't know if it was a must-make, but she made it, and she stays one back with 4 to go.
Scorecard-wise, it may not have been a must-make, but confidence-wise, it was absolutely a must-make. And playing with the leader still, continuing to put pressure on Lauren, even after hitting a poor shot, able to get away with the par.
So they'll move to 15. We'll head straight up to the green. It's going to be Hye-Jin Choi to putt for birdie. Just gone quiet on this back nine when she eagled 9. She was certainly in the mix.
Yeah, just has been treading water, Richard, and that bogey on the last hole hurt her chances. This would be nice bounce back here, breaking a little bit to her right.
She knew straight away. Yeah, 1 over par for this back 9. So Foodaway with the honour off the 2 at 14.
What a 2 that was. It's just the bunk on the left-hand side you need to watch out for. Starting it right, drawing it back in, likes this one. Perfection?
Well, the first cut, but a rare miss fairway from the player. 2nd in driving accuracy last season, 3rd this year.
I just think with a second shot like this, sometimes it's not the end of the world when you end up in that first cut. Just give you a bit of a tee or a cushion to help the launch angle with your next. It'll be hit and miss whether or not Foodaway goes for it. Coghlan now.
As these fairways firm up, it's been difficult to hit this fairway because of bounces like that. She knew that was a little bit up the left, may have a difficult stance.
At the 16th, Tavatanikit to get within 1.
Another great look uphill, moving left.
The last couple putts, she's missed low, caught the low lip. She keeps putting herself right there, and kind of similar to what we saw yesterday, just not able to get them to fall here late these last couple holes.
Kiriakou, 15th tee.
For a psychological half-shot advantage, it's so important to hit this fairway because she can have a crack at this in 2.
Just all 3 of those, especially Ayaka and Steph, it's just tough to hit this fairway today with the firmness and the slope.
Well, Steph has a cosmopolitan feel. Dad, Nick of Greek descent. Her mum from Lebanon. And look at that top 4. An American, Australian, a Thai and a Japanese. It's between those 4 for the Amundi Evian Championship as we come down the stretch.
And the German, Mr. Hinseleit. Every stroke so important for her. She tries to make her first Solheim Cup team. A 7th at the Chevron Championship at the moment, tied for 8th here.
And a top 15 at Sahali, so some really solid major championship performances from Esther this season.
Undone by a triple bogey at the 11th yesterday. Shaneti Wanasea at the 16th. She did not have to come back Saturday morning, and so she was fresh Saturday afternoon, made a big move up the leaderboard. To at least give herself a fighting chance. Got back on schedule yesterday after the storm came through Friday afternoon. Round 2 was completed Saturday morning around 10 a.m.
17th. Paddy Tapatanica. You feel needs at least a birdie finish.
There's that potential for an eagle there on 18, but you know, she talked about how she saw the lip outs as positive things earlier in the week. They're not so positive right now if they're not going in her quest to win this championship.
Second for Hate on You at the short par 5, 18th. This will come back, I think. So Hate on You has a chance to play her last 4 holes in 5 under. At the moment she's tied for 5th.
She could sell that for a bit of money. Certainly to these leaders coming down the 15th hole.
266 yards for food away, but just looking to lay up here. You've got 2 fairway bunkers right, just playing short of these.
Bit of a sloppy layup there, NC.
Yeah, I mean, laid up into the left rough yesterday. This time it's the right rough, so no good.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. It's an awkward second shot if you are forced to lay up. Part of you wants to send it down around that bunker on the left side. But if you're going to lay up, it's really important to pick just as precise of a target as if you were going for a green.
Same target.
Yeah, you're right, Morgan. It's not an easy layup shot because it does slope quite significantly right to left as well. But Coughlin also looking to lay up here. She can't go for the screen with the lie.
Just up the right, and that'll be fine. Smart play. Leave the ball well above her feet with the wedge into this left hole location.
Last to go will be Steph Kyriakou. Can she get there?
Will absolutely be going for this, surely. Especially based off the situation as well. She's got to take it on. 252 to the flag, 233 to the front edge. I'd imagine this is a 3-wood, and she really needs to aim this way further right than what meets the eye. So left half of the right fairway bunker in front of her.
Yeah, perfect.
And then it turns into a bit of a blind shot, but everything kicks down and to the left. She can get on.
There is space over there, choking up on this because of the lie.
Be good.
They like it.
She likes the swing, very level.
Yeah, come up shy of that bunker. She says she has a mantra this week. She couldn't tell us what it was because it's got some swear words in it, but basically it's just do what you would normally do out there. Play your way, play your game. She went for it there, one behind Lauren Coughlin.
Well, we mentioned Hate on You has a chance to play her last 4 holes in 5 under. Same for Madeline Sagstrom. This for a closing eagle. How about the show she and Rose Zhang put on at Cognizant Founders Cup?
Yeah, it was impressive watching the two of them battle down the stretch so far away from the rest of the field. Madeline's had a good season. She's been playing some really solid golf.
Yeah, 13 shots. Sagstrom ahead of 3rd place Gabby Ruffles behind Rose. Hedge-in Choi at the 16th.
Looking like this is aggressive.
Well, Hate on You really was never in contention to win. But Morgan, for a player who is still accumulating a few reps in major championships, LPGA majors, it's going to be another high finish for the young Korean.
I mean, you think of when she did have that lead early Sunday morning at the Chevron Championship. She has put herself in these types of positions and continues to impress. She's got, definitely has major championship game, and she will continue to contend in major championships for a long time, I would imagine.
She had the lead entering the final round of the Chevron. She had a share of the lead on the weekend of the KPMG Women's PGA just a few weeks ago. And she finishes birdie, 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 eagle, and breaks out of a group at 11 under to post minus 13.
Take that to the bank. How about that finish?
Number 25 in the world and figures to move up.
Wonderful. Yeah, no wonder she is smiling. Third shots to come at 15.
The ball's teed up, very easy to strike this in the top of the club face. So looking to pitch this short right of the flag. Got to watch out for that bunker though. Much more of a shallow follow through. You don't want to get steep on this one. It will release.
May miss. Yeah, it's going to stay on the top shelf on the back right there. Was wanting to get that to catch the slope and feed it down towards the hole.
17th with Tavatanika.
109, plays 6 yards uphill. Wouldn't she love a birdie eagle finish?
But it's not beyond her after that approach. Similar length putt to the last two greens.
She keeps giving herself chances. That was such beautiful rhythm. Nearly a little pause at the top of her backswing.
Back a couple of holes to 15.
Also 109 yards. Could hit a 54 with the ball a little bit above her feet. Can try and feel a bit of a draw shot. You get the ball spinning right to left. Once it hits the green, it will release towards that flag.
Yeah, maybe just a yard or two off of this.
Nifty little shot in here yesterday to the front hole location. Very creative. This one a little bit different, more of a full swing. Still going to try and use the slopes. Carried it just a fraction too far there, Richard. Didn't quite get the most severe part of that slope.
Yeah, an opportunity for Kiriakou to certainly put one inside of that.
This is where the pressure starts to mount, doesn't it, Richard? You see 15, you can see the clubhouse to the left, you can see the scoreboard, you can see the crowd there around 18 green, which was right behind the 15th green here. So it all starts to come together, realizing what's truly at stake.
And for Lauren Coughlin and Steph Kiriakou, we're talking about two players who have yet to win on the LPGA Tour, never mind win a major. What's the play here for Kiriakou?
It's a fiddly one, Richard. Off a slight downhill slope. Definitely requires a little bit of creativity, but also some confidence. Needs to go right at this flag, try and ride that slope. You need to be quite cute.
That is superbly done from Kiriakou.
Just off that tight lie, Richard, that's where any sign of nerves really would come out. And for a player who statistically, that is not a strength of her game. But she had a beauty on 10. Got up and down. And here to put some pressure on Lauren.
No doubt who's got the longer putt on this 15th green. It's going to be Ayaka Foodaway.
I was just catching up with Hannah Green, of course, the major champ herself. Just said, if you were in Kiriaku's shoes right now, of course she is supporting her fellow Australian friend, what would you say to her? And she said, just take it slow, take deep breaths, one shot at a time. It's cliche, but it's so true and so very difficult to do under these circumstances.
Well, she's been there, and they're such a family on tour, the Australians. They do cheer for one another.
It is certainly cliche, but that's so much harder to do than it is to say one shot at a time, not get too far ahead of yourself, not worry about what your opponents are doing, not think about the trophy, not think about the major championship status, not think about the money, not think about everything that is on the line here today, and just focus on what is right in front of you. It's just the very best in the world are able to do it time and time again.
This is for birdie for Foodaway. What a moment for Ayaka Foodaway. Back-to-back birdies and very much back in business.
Almost 100 feet of putts on the last 2 holes, 75 at least. I mean, just when we kind of thought it was a 2-horse race here, especially with these two in the final group, Patty and Ayaka both saying, wait, I am still here.
The two who've been there the most, in contention the most.
Well, what a moment for Foodaway. Special moment for her.
What a crazy great game. I mean, things just change so fast, don't they?
We don't have to catch our breath for long. Next opportunity incoming. This one from Coughlin.
Would have had a decent look in what Foodaway's putt did. Similar sort of angle, but it's fast, it's slick, it's shiny.
Just wiggled ever so slightly to the left as that ball got closer to the hole. She certainly had a lot of opportunities today, Richard. She's played beautiful golf, and on this back nine, just gotten a little bit cold with the putter.
And here's another player who keeps giving herself opportunities.
She's missed the last 2 putts low, uphill, moving left.
And another chance goes a-begging. Big moment for Foodaway. Feels like one here for Kiriaku as well, if she can drop this one in.
Kind of putting down the spine of this slope, so a little bit straighter, but just a hint of left to right, if anything.
Get in the hole.
Never in doubt. And back alongside Lauren Coughlin at the top of the leaderboard. We are in for a fantastic ride for these final 3 holes. Great entertainment. It may not be some of the names we expected to be up there at the start of the week, but they are living up to the expectations of being in the heat of a major in the final round. Crowds are swelling. The noise will get louder. Kiriaku having to deal with the spectator roping there as well.
Yeah, she sees Hannah Green there. her way to the tee up by the green, Hedge and Choi. As this for bogey, might recall her tee shot sailed over the back. Salvages a 4. But, an eagle at the 9th gave her an outside chance. No more. Patty Tavatanik, all the power in the world. With this tee moved up, 2 back, probably needs a 3, Ewan.
Yes, and obviously Hayran Yu made an eagle about 10-15 minutes ago. A little bit of help with the breeze. If she gets this in the short grass, it'll only be a mid-iron to the green.
Half the field hitting this fairway in regulation today. This looks like a beauty if it gets a straight kick. And it does easily. Probably a mid-iron into this green from where Patty ended up there. And there have been 9 threes today on this 18th hole.
That was a big tee shot. Big in terms of distance and in terms of finding the short grass and giving herself a chance. Alayaka Budaway has talked so openly about the struggle of closing out leads. She's had leads this year. She's had chances this year to win the last couple of years, just piling up top 5 finishes. She's averaging a top 5 finish every 5 starts in her young LPGA career. But could this be, in a way, like it was 2 years ago in Scotland? She came from behind. Back-to-back long birdie putts and eyeing this tee shot at 16.
And if you hit the right shot, Grant, you can get very close to this flag.
Already seen an ace.
Trouble short and left. You need to pitch this right of the pin. It will feed down.
That could be in the perfect spot. It's going to have a little bit more momentum as it heads down to the hole. Oh.
And Budaway keeps the pressure on.
Oh, things have just heated up here. I mean, that was quite wide. That was the steepest slope.
Well, it was a year ago this week that Steph Kyriakou played in the final group on the LPGA Tour for the first time. She was well back of Lynn Grant, but she said she learned so much about dealing with the pressure. Said she hit the ball farther with the adrenaline, which was a first experience for her. Big tee shot here.
Makes this shot tougher to calculate any sort of breeze it's into. But you're playing downhill. How gutsy was that?
It was gutsy and glorious.
I'd say she sure has learned how to play with those nerves. The way that she has performed today, both of these players, all 3 of these players in this final grouping have risen to the occasion of major championship pressure.
Steph got a high five from Hannah Green, her countrywoman, who finished her round moments ago and is now following her. Now Lauren Coughlin, one time she's played in the final group on the LPGA Tour a couple of years ago at the ShopRite LPGA Classic, said the same thing. Taught me about handling the nerves. Nervy shot here. This is not gonna drop to the bottom.
That's a very unlucky leave right there. We've seen so many players get it close to that hole because it takes that slope. Even Pei-Yun Chen with her hole-in-one down the slope, but tough putt upcoming for Lauren Coughlin.
Well, we said it. It's just too close to call. Lauren Coughlin had some chances to extend her lead to a couple. and hit some good putts that didn't fall, and now she is going to have a very difficult putt for birdie with Kiriakou in there tight, and Budaway not much farther away herself.
Just thinking about this putt that Lauren has upcoming, I mean, she could barely breathe on it, and it will get all the way to the hole. It is, I mean, she is inches from being right next to the hole.
Well, it's been fun watching Ingrid Lindblad this week. She had to share the lead after round one, just her 4th start as a pro, and her first start on the LPGA Tour, first major as a pro. Exciting things to come. Like Madeline Sackstrom, a Swede who played collegiately at LSU, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, former #1 ranked amateur, and now a pro. Back across to the 16th. Short putts for Kiriakou and Budaway. And Coughlin still wondering how that one didn't fall to the bottom tier. I think you made a great point a moment ago. Everything begins to gather here around the 16th green, Morgan.
Yeah, I mean, you can sense the energy. Incy, you mentioned it. Everything seems to be a little bit tighter. And this is quite a nervy putt here that Lauren has to face. I mean, can she stop it short of the hole, Incy? Not that you would want to, but would it even be possible?
She can certainly try. And that's exactly what she'll be trying to do. It's almost impossible, I would say, Morgan. Downhill putt, steep ridge. It will take the ball left to right. I mean, a nervy putt, you almost want to toe it, just kiss it and it'll roll down. It really is like putting on glass or mirror right now. Probably doesn't help that your two playing partners have hit it so close as well.
Gotta try and put the bit of a bad break in the back of your mind and focus on what's at hand. What we talked about when they were on the last green. Just one shot at a time. Just breathe on this.
Not sure she's lost her turn.
Yeah, just carried too much pace, but we knew that would be a tough putt.
All right, Kiriakou is going to have a putt to get to 18 under, and now Patty Tavatanek at 15 under, second at 18.
Ridiculous tee shot. 329 yards, has an 8 iron from 155. Trying to utilize the slope left of this flag.
Getting better.
A little bit closer to the putt that Brooke Henderson made. A little bit further than the one that Brooke made in 2022 on her way to victory.
That'll be for eagle for Tavatanek to post 17 under. And indeed, Lauren Coughlin still away. This for par.
Not ideal, Grant. It's pretty difficult to read this overall. I think it's a straight putt. It's so easy to search for a break hit.
Was dead straight, and see she played it just outside the hole, thinking it would break to the right. She made a huge putt of that length on 12 to save par, but not to be here. Bit unfortunate that her ball didn't roll down, as we've seen so many today nestle in there close using that right slope.
She still can't believe it. So leading by 1 for most the last couple of hours. But now she trails, and it could be by 2. She might be trailing a couple of players. Budaway for birdie.
Yeah, once again, similarly, not a lot of break, but it should move a fraction from Budaway's right. I would definitely keep this inside of the cup, though.
6 straight birdies when she really needed it. 2 from long range and 1 after a brilliant tee shot. And she's tied for the lead at least for the next few seconds.
What a time for her putter to heat up. Just absolute bombs on 14 and 15, and a brilliant shot here in on 16.
Anything here, Incy, that you've seen?
Yeah, I'd say inside right edge. If it's slightly shy on pace, maybe right edge, but had a look at where the ball pitched. It was just 3.5 feet over the edge.
Steph Kiriakou has the lead with 2 holes to go. And a big exhale for the 23-year-old Aussie.
This is a position she hasn't been in a while since Lauren took the lead. And here she knows, she sees what her opponents have done right in front of her, knows she's walking to the 17th tee with the lead and 2 holes in between her and Major Glory.
The Aussies have had so much success at the Evian Championship. One of her idols, Kari Webb, won here back in 2006 before it became a major. Kari has done so much to mentor the young Aussies, giving them opportunities to come to the U.S. in many cases, like Hannah Green, like Grace Kim. And, actually gave Steph a putting lesson a couple of years ago when they were playing together at an LPGA event. And, Steph Kiriakou has put those lessons to great use. She leads by 1.
Just a huge shift of momentum here within the group. On 17, when you're standing on the tee box, you have to look at where this flag is. It's on the right, which means if you end up on the right half of the fairway, you'll have no look at the pin. So you have to finish down the left half. It opens up the green and the shot.
Looking like the player we saw the first 2 days, Ayaka Fudaway. 3 birdies in a row, that's a decent spot to be in down the 17th.
And 17's playing short as well, with that flag at the front portion of the green. So with 2 fairway bunkers down the left, you don't want to put them in place. You might as well lay back. No need to hit this beyond 220 playing yardage, I would say.
Few gasps, yeah. That's why. Sat right down. Needs a break.
Patty Tavatanaka needs an eagle. She's got a chance here at the 18th.
Well, to have played as well as she has today, it doesn't feel right to say she's due, but she's missed quite a few chances this 9. Uphill, moving to the right. I've got a good feeling.
Oh, and so does Patty. She posts 17 under. A Sunday 63.
Needing to bounce back, Lauren Coughlin.
Leaning like it's a bit up the right. Might have a little tree trouble there, Richard, with that front right hole location.
Well, we have some twists and turns. Patty Tavatanaka matching the best round of the week. An eagle finish, 63, 17 under. That's the mark in the clubhouse. Kiriakou with a 1-shot lead. So much more still to come. Been some day, hasn't it, really? Let's have a look at this closing moment for Patty Tavatanaka. Whatever the final score, Morgan, some round of golf, 63, but think of the chances that went to begging.
That's all I could think when I watched Patty make that brilliant eagle on the last, is what could have been. this week. How many lip outs did she have, especially on Friday? Seemed to lip almost everything out. I mean, pretty much, if you go by just the ones that we showed, in the 12 to 15 range number of lip outs. And a valiant effort here on Championship Sunday. Still not over.
No. You have been saying, though, how that 18th hole has been playing. It's almost playing more like a par 4 than a par 5. So you would feel the final three, especially given the way that they seem to be rising to the occasion, you'd fancy at least one, if not two, maybe all of them to birdie or better that hole.
You would fancy that, but then you add in the final hole, excuse me, of a major championship, especially with a couple of very green players. Never been in that position before.
And they all can't hit it 325 off the tee down 18 either.
I mean, that's the kind of performance we saw at Mission Hills when she won the Chevron Championship in 2021. Power, but also the putting, the resilience.
But there's no question that Patty Tavatanakit is back with everything that she has been through and her game. She has definitely flipped a switch this season, and it's not easy to do. Kudos to her and all of her hard work to get back to the top of the game.
We saw glimpses of it last year. Good finish, high finish, third place, Palos Verdes. Early last season, continued to play at a high level. Then the wins, the LET, and the next week, home soil in Thailand.
There are some questions to be answered here at 17. Not necessarily with the Yakafudoe, although she is looking rather closely at her ball here. They're waiting up on the green, Hyejin Choi, to get to 11 under. And she has just found birdies so hard to come by on this back nine. So yeah, the questions really that we're contemplating is, what's the lie like down the left for Steph Kyriakou, and is Lauren Coughlin blocked out by the trees down the right? The wake continues. This is, yeah, there's Lauren Coughlin.
There's no question she has some tree trouble there.
Incy, you seen Kyriakou's ball?
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's sat down and that rough, really heavy. And
Unfortunately, some problems there with Incy's microphone, but you heard. Not the best of lies. So the one back now for Hyejin Choi. Three bogeys in 4 holes. Going the opposite way of Hye-Ran Yu. So not the back nine she was hoping for, not the day Ali Ewing was hoping for either.
Got off to a good start, Richard, with the birdie on the third, but 3 bogeys since then, and just not able to gain any momentum.
What an exciting final round this has been. Hole-in-ones, tears of farewell to Angela Stanford, and everything still on the line. 4 potential champions still.
...128 yards for Fudoe out of that first cut, playing up a steep slope. We've got a big false front short of this flag as well. Any sort of right to left movement is going to take a big kick left.
This is the third toughest hole in the golf course today, mostly because of that hole location. Very tough to get it close, very tough to read. Once you do get it on the green, can't miss right.
Right in her wheelhouse.
What, you mean anywhere on the green?
She'll have a putter.
Yeah, we got a glimpse of that lie there, Incy.
Really thick, has to get steep on this one. If you can get it within 40 feet, you've done well. Need to muscle this one out. Easy to come up shy.
So if you could get it on the green, that would be a solid shot. She's going to have another tricky up and down upcoming. She managed them very well on 10 and on 15.
Coughlin's actually got no tree trouble. The branch that's sticking out is low enough, so she should be able to whip this up and get over it pretty quickly. 106 playing 112 should be the perfect gap wedge.
A little above her feet, fade something just slightly off that TV tower.
Just found the bunker.
That
Such-
is death, Richard.
Such crucial moments. Trouble for Coughlin. Morgan, just explain why that is such a bad spot.
I mean, she's completely short-sighted, way below the putting surface, everything breaking away from her. There's not a single player who has gotten up and down from either of those bunkers today with that whole location on the right. I said it when Ayaka was over her ball, you cannot miss right. Anything left is manageable, but this is going to take one of the most fabulous shots we've ever seen to even keep it on the top tier for Lauren Coughlin.
Kiriakou will be first to play. She and Wei Wang, caddy, just, I think, trying to find a landing spot in seat.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to find one, to be honest, Richard. I just had a look at Coughlin's ball. It's fine. It's on a slight uphill slope. The raise isn't as steep, and she's actually pitching on a slight uphill slope, so it's okay. It's makeable. However, Kiriakou's shot's a bit more difficult, I would say. Mentioned that steep false front earlier. If you pitch on it and you get too cute, the ball's coming back. If you fly it all the way on the flat and you don't strike it and it doesn't spin, it will go. So very difficult to judge.
Some pretty big swings here. Got the face open, not looking to bump something into the false front, but carry it towards the top. Have to stay aggressive through it. She chunked it. It was a bit of a high-risk shot. Was that a necessary shot there, Incy?
It was one or the other. It's both really difficult options, and obviously fine margins, no room for error there, and just caught it a little bit heavy. Painful.
Yeah, I think she's going to let Lauren Coughlin play next. I'm sure there's an interested spectator called Patty Tabatanicut right now.
Where are you looking, Mike? Right edge of the Santa Bear? Yeah. It's perfect. Been practicing all week. All right, let's hit the shot now.
Like I said, quite makeable. You can get up and down from here. Definitely the easier shot between herself and Kiriakou. It's quite a standard splash shot.
She gets up and down from here, Incy. She'd be the only player to do so all day. There's been quite a few who have missed this right. It would be a brilliant shot. Her husband, you've been practicing this all week.
Fabulous.
That's why you practice.
I cannot express how good that shot was right there. Under this pressure and this moment, watching Stephanie struggle. potentially knowing that Patty is already in the clubhouse at 17 and she is one behind. What a shot.
Fourth shot now at this par 4 for our leader.
It's horrible after you just chunked it. Playing for the bump and runner this time.
Really nicely played. So let's catch our breath and head down to the 18th. Tom?
Yeah, here with Patty Tavatanakit, an amazing round of 63, Patty. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to ask you to speculate, but when did you start to think maybe I have a chance today?
Probably at 14 after making that putt. I felt really comfortable with my irons all week, and I feel like even though I aimed right at the flag or left of the flag, somehow it just ended up going close to it, unintentionally a couple of times, but I just knew, kept giving myself a lot of good birdie opportunities and hopefully putt drops, and it did on 18, which I'm really proud of myself.
Talk me through that 18th hole there, and especially that putt.
Yeah, I've hit a lot of good iron shots like coming up to 18, so I had a good look and a lot of looks, and everything was just like burning the edge, and I just told myself in the last putt, just trust myself and just give it a good stroke, just feel it out, and then it went in, so I'm really glad.
Fantastic playing. We may be talking to you in just a moment. We don't know, but we'll let you take some time and we'll see what happens. Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
Another? Oh, so close to another for Ayaka Foodaway.
From our angle, Richard, that looked like it was going to be another dead center putt. Just barely misses this high, but beautiful stroke, beautiful pace.
Well, we know that Steph Kyriakou is going to drop at least a shot. That would have been for the outright lead for the Japanese player. Bogey putt for Steph Kyriakou.
I mean, no doubt that you're shaken from that first chip shot. Second one was a lot better. Maybe learning her lesson, playing for the bump and run, the percentage shot anyway. I mean, I'm sweating for her. I think we all are. Just ever so slightly left to right for Kyriakou.
It's not a must make, but for her confidence, it sure is.
Well done. It is a first bogey of the day. The outright lead is gone. It is now one shot separating four players.
She looks like she's walking off that green on a real mission, not dejected by what has just happened.
Still in her hands.
That's a very mature reaction, where sometimes players who have had a lead so close to the end of a major championship might not react the same way. Here, Ayaka, putt for par, inside right.
She finds herself in a share of the lead. There have been some big moments. Today there's going to be some epic moments potentially to come, but this up and down, if the putt goes in from Lauren Coughlin, how big is that, Morgan?
I mean, just huge. I mean, it still gives her a chance. You know, really, really good chance. Again, you'd think the way that 18 is playing that either Ayaka or Stephanie would at least make a birdie on the final hole. So Lauren needs this putt right here.
That is heartbreaking. Such a good bunker shot. But it is back-to-back bogeys at the worst of times for Lauren Coughlin. 71 holes down for Patty Tavatanakit, 72 gone. Three-way tie at the top. Well, let's look back at this back nine from Patty Tavatanakit. Already produced 3 birdies on the day, out in 32. This was her approach to the 11th. And she said in that interview, Morgan, it didn't matter if she was going right or left, everything seemed to be attracted to the flag.
And when you're on and when you're a competitor, you may be aiming towards the safe side, but you just instinctively push it a little bit closer to the hole location, and it ended up working out for Patty today.
She said this was the moment she knew she had a chance. She missed at 13, made at 14. Chances came at 15, 16, 17. They didn't drop, but a big one for Eagle did at 18. And now she has to wait after that scintillating round of 63. What do? Try and take yourself away from it all.
Well, we had the tightly bunched leaderboard. We had a little bit of separation at times. Now we're back 4 players with 1 hole to go who could still win this Amundi Evian Championship. Ayaka Budaway tied as she tees it up here at the 18th.
She hit the green in 2 yesterday on this par 5, and the tee's been moved up. So as long as she hit the fairway, she can absolutely go for it again.
Set up the left center here. Whole fairway slopes to the right. That is on a perfect line. Might just creep into that first cut, but on a bit of an upslope there.
Straight hitter, great putter, consistent player, number 21 in the world, Ayaka Budaway, has been here late on Sunday so many times. Has openly said she has struggled mentally to finish off these events. This would be the biggest of her young career, as it would be for Steph Kyriakou, salvaging bogey on the tee here.
It's not an easy fairway to hit, and this is heading left.
Watch the bounce.
Bit nervy on the last couple of holes. 2 pulls off the tee. Maybe okay, just chase something down there and try to make birdie the hard way.
For Lauren Coughlin, who has led for so much of this final round. 31-year-old journeywoman from Virginia, stumbles at 16 and 17. Still a chance. You need to do what Patty Tavatanakit just did, make eagle.
Put up the left as well, needs a good bounce. And it gets one, that'll head quite a ways down the middle of the fairway.
Good memories, Morgan, at this 18th for Lauren Coughlin. She made eagle here yesterday to briefly give her a share of the lead. She needs another eagle to have a chance to win for the first time on the LPGA Tour in a big way. So Patty Tavatanakit, the short game area, just off the first hole. You'd need to get in a shuttle to go hit some full shots. And, with the last group on 18, she'll stay right there, it looks like. How about the day for Ayaka Budaway?
It's been a bit of a mixed bag, but has she been able to turn up the gear here starting on the 14th hole with those really long putts on 14 and 15. Brilliant tee shot in on 16. And she has just hung tough. And that's what you have to do in a major championship. Never give up.
Just a moment ago at the 18th green, Allie Ewing had this for eagle. Well, not the Sunday that she was hoping for, but Morgan, another top 10 in a major championship.
She just continues to play really stellar golf. Was never able to catch fire today.
And playing with her, Padrianana Rukarn for an eagle of her own. Well, good visual for those back in the fairway, and Padri leapfrogs the group at 10 under and takes solo possession of 6th. So here's where we stand with the final group making its way up the 18th. Patty Tavatanakit. If she wins, it will tie the all-time LPGA Major Championship record for lowest final round by a winner. It happened right here with Lydia Ko in 2015. Se-Young Kim did it from the lead at the KPMG Women's PGA back in 2020. Ayaka Fudaway looking for her first major. Kiriakou and Coughlin looking for a first victory. And it all hangs in the balance here at the par 5 18th. Steph Kiriakou has missed the fairway. We can barely see the top of the ball.
The lie's not too bad, but 20 yards in front of her, there's a big tree and the branches are overhanging. So with water short and large amount of pond in front of her, this has got to be a layup, you would have thought.
Yeah, so it's 83 to in line with the red hazard stake on the left. 83? So like, on the tree. 83? Yeah, it's in line with the... Oh. Yeah, I'm going right with that. So the red hazard stake is 110 on the right. Yeah. Okay. Got it?
Even though this is a layup, you can't get complacent with this. You have to end up on the fairway. The rough is thick either side. It's through.
Yeah, got lucky, caught quite a bit of that branch. Straight down and released out towards the center of the fairway. It will be okay.
A birdie from Fudaway or Kiriakou would knock out Patty Tavatanakit. Coughlin's got to make 3 to have a chance. We go back to yesterday, Morgan, and Lauren Coughlin didn't want to go for it initially. Her husband, John Pond, her caddy, talked her into it. She hit a beauty, made eagle. Got to go for it here.
In line with the pin. Yeah, we have about 8 behind it. We also have that ridge back there that will funnel it back. So if you want to hit a better foul, you can hit it into the head. Yes, I'm with you. Where are you looking at starting this? It's not as severe as they had yesterday. Still going to cut.
We're looking at trying to finish it kind of just at the left edge of the tower for now. You can bear the flag.
Okay. You have a good sight line on it? All right, let's see your shot, bud.
Well, John certainly sounds quite relaxed. Promise you, Coughlin's not feeling that way. 181 yards. It's the 4 hybrid in hand. Definitely taking short out of play here.
Seems like a lot of club in C, expecting it to fall a little bit right off this downslope.
Cut. Keep cutting. Keep cutting.
Adrenaline.
A bit of adrenaline, just 180 yards with the 4 hybrid seems like a lot of club. You know, trying to maybe take a little bit off of it with a cut, but now has to hold that or
that is,
even a chance.
That is her favorite club. Wonder if she just went to her favorite in the biggest moment. So Fudaway now with her second as Patty Tavatanakit tries to stay loose.
coming out the first cut here, and it's a good lie, teed up. So would have thought has a slight advantage from 180 yards, front left flag. You need height, long right is safe. You're just looking to get on the green.
She's choking this up, Incy, so I would think that means she's going with the longer of 2 clubs.
Just clears it. Ayaka Foodaway is going to have a putt for eagle.
We all collectively held our breath there for a moment as that landed, but it is just fine now.
Player who played with the lead so much of the middle of this event. Patty, who just made eagle herself, watches Foodaway's ball just clear the penalty area. And 2 putts would eliminate Patty. And of all things, the player known for her accuracy and her putting reaches a par 5 and 2 and has a chance for an eagle. Kiriakou still has a 3rd here. But if she doesn't make it, then Foodaway's going to have a putt to win.
Forced to lay up after that tee shot, but this is an excellent number for Kiriakou. 125 yards. It is the perfect wedge.
This is going to come back.
It's at a very good spot below the hole, has a chance.
Ayaka Foodaway was a proven winner on the Japan LPGA Tour when she came to Evian back in 2021. She contended, finished 4th, joined the LPGA Tour, and has been as consistent a performer as there has been in women's golf. Number 21 in the world. But Morgan, she has openly said she has struggled. She's almost beaten herself at times on Sundays. Now she's got a putt to win.
She has talked endlessly about how she's felt like she hasn't been mentally strong enough on Sundays to get the job done when she has been in contention. Her only win coming from way back in the pack on Sunday with the final round 62. Talked this year about how much the Olympics meant to her and how that was her #1 goal, qualifying for that Olympic team. That didn't happen. And here she is now with the chance for her first major title, putting that disappointment of not making the Olympic team behind her and not dwelling on that and refocusing here and realizing there's still a lot more to play for.
She got passed at the very last qualifying event by Miyu Yamashita, which was the last major, the KPMG Women's PGA. She was ahead of Miyu until that event. Now she'll have that eagle putt. And for Lauren Coughlin, one last opportunity. This will be her 3rd. Has to hold it to get to 17 under, where she was as she stood on the 16th tee. But a 3-putt bogey, missed green at 17, drop shots, and now has to drop this one in.
Not the sort of shot you want to be leaving yourself here. On a downhill slope, the further left you go, the more it will kick and bounce and release.
Well, that officially ends Lauren Coughlin's chance to win. Morgan, what do you think she will have taken from this week when she has a chance to let it all soak in?
Yeah, it's going to hurt. It's definitely going to hurt, as you said, standing on that 16th tee with the lead, tied for the lead, so close, and just very unlucky on 16. A couple poor shots there on 17. Certainly were costly for Lauren, but I was impressed with the way that she handled major championship pressure today. I mean, really looked solid. Her ball striking all week has been tremendous, and it's one of the reasons why she is in this position. Her putter letting her down a bit on this back nine. No birdies after a brilliant 31 opening nine.
We told the story that her college coach, Kim Llewellyn, had to talk her out of giving the game up just a few years ago. Talked her into going to LPGA Q school. She did, got her card for the first time, lost it, scratching, clawing just to stay out on the LPGA Tour. Last year, her best season, and now even better. For the second time, she has been in that crucible, the major championship Sunday. She's going to come up short, but she's proven to herself that she belongs on this stage.
Something that has certainly been on Lauren's mind is the Solheim Cup team really wanting to represent Team USA in her home state of Virginia in a couple months' time. Her husband, John, told me, said that I told her the only way we can guarantee we're there is to make it on points. And right now they are just on the outside looking in, but she's going to accrue a lot of points here this week that will help move her up those point standings and give her a really solid chance of representing Team USA.
Well, it's on the putter of Ayaka Budaway. She has this for eagle to win the Amundi Evian Championship.
This is absolutely in her wheelhouse. Putting's been a real strength up till now. Breaking right to left about a cup and a half. Downhill all the way.
Will it try to leak right a little bit at the very end, Incy?
I think it might maybe try and straighten up, but overall it's a right to left putt, Morgan. About a cup and a half.
We have seen time and time again this week putts of this length go right in the center of the hole. Take a deep breath here. Start it on your line.
It's another major for Japan. And a first for Ayaka Budaway. An eagle at the 18th to win the Amundi Evian Championship. She walks it off here in Evian.
See the emotion, incredible performance to fight those demons that she has talked openly about. Not being able to close the deal on Sundays under pressure. And does she ever rise to the occasion today?
And Evian delivers yet again another world-class winner. Number 21 in the world claims her first major title. Steph Kyriakou for a closing birdie, pours it in, but finishes one shot short.
Still a valiant performance from both Lauren and Stephanie today, but look at the tears from Ayaka.
And they're coming from all over to shower Ayaka Budaway. Yuna Nishimura there, Manami Katsu. It's another major championship this season for Japan. Mao Saigo there as well. After Yuka Saso claimed the U.S. Women's Open, and now Japan has 4 winners in the 5 major championships. So much heartbreak. So close to making it to Paris. But just a few hours away, Ayaka Budaway is at the top of the podium at Evian.
She's going to take quite a bit of time off after this. We will not see her play again until the Scottish Open, so an opportunity go home to celebrate her friends and her family, her dad, her longtime coach back in Japan.
Mom is here with her. Cousin, who's her agent, is here. Now Renan of Korea there celebrating. And Justin Dunbar there. Incredible, Morgan, just to think about a player whose strength is her accuracy, and yet on a par 5, 2 great shots, and that we've seen a lot.
She just continued to pour them in all week. Showed a little signs of fatigue yesterday late after having to get up so early to restart round 2, but hung tough today. Was never really in the lead until the very end of the day. And what a way to put an exclamation point on her performance.
Well, her other LPGA victory came in Scotland, the home country of her caddy, Mikey Scott. It was emotional for him. And this one's special. Let the champagne flow for the newest major champion in women's golf. Well deserved. Just 24 years old, but it was coming, and it's here. Ayaka Fudaway wins the Amundi Evian Championship, conquering the field and conquering her own self-doubt.
When in France, it's only appropriate to let the champagne flow, right, Grant?
Could not agree more. You look at this leaderboard, and so much changed over the last hour or so. Patty Tavatanakit, a spirited run, the eagle at 18 to tie the lead. Steph Kyriakou had the lead a couple of times. That third shot at 17, think about the tee shot that put her in a tough position. Lauren Coughlin, the lead on the 16th tee, but stumbles at 16 and 17. So let's try to recap this wild last hour or so. This was Fudaway. She had made a long one at 14 and then this at 15.
Never really in position on this par 5, but all's well that ends well with a solid putt like that.
Patty Tavatanakit had so many lip outs all week. Didn't birdie 15, 16, or 17, but made eagle at 18 to post 17 under. At the 17th, Kyriakou missed her tee shot left. Second shot to this point, her third. The ensuing bogey would drop her back to 17 under. And then at the 18th, Ayaka Fudaway.
Held my breath a little bit on this one, Grant. When this landed, it's that forward hop and nestles in there tight.
She went the first 46 holes of this championship without a bogey, and then a couple of stumbles on the back nine yesterday, a bogey at 12 today, and it looked like she was out of it. She was not. Birdies at 14, 15, 16, and Ayaka Fudaway with a 72nd hole eagle. She is tough enough. She does have what it takes. She is a major champion. There's a trophy to present, and Tom Abbott is there to do it.
There certainly is a trophy to present, Grant. I'm here with the tournament chairman, Frank Rubu, and the group CEO of Amundi, Valerie Boatson. Valerie, please do the honors.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Ayaka. We'll let you hold the trophy. We're going to bring in your translator as well so you can understand the questions. You are an incredible golfer, but you haven't always converted on the LPGA Tour. Today was different. Now you're a major champion. What was different for you?
本当にもう15番まですごく我慢のゴルフだったんですけど、しっかり自分を信じて最後までゴルフやれたのが、最後いっぱいバーディーも取れて、最後に上げていけたかなと思います。
Not that good until 15th holes, but I just kept trusting myself and then just kept going with me.
I've got to ask you about the second shot at 18 and the eagle putt. Did you think that it was going to hit the green? It was tight getting onto the green, and then you made that putt. Talk us through that.
でもグリーンに乗せるのも、ファーストカットだったので、ちょっと怪しいかなっていうのもあったんですけど、しっかりまずは乗せることを意識して、手前のクラブと奥のクラブで迷ったんですけど、奥のクラブ持ってしっかり乗せれて、本当にイーグルパットも打ててよかったなと思います。
My first shot laid on a fast cut, so it was kind of a little bit difficult for me to hit on a green, but I just made that shot and then got an eagle putt, so that was really good for me.
You're the third player representing Japan to win a major championship on the LPGA Tour. What does that mean to you?
いや、もうありえないぐらい本当に嬉しいです。はい。
Breathtaking, like incredible, and I'm so like speechless.
Congratulations, Ayaka Fudaway, the champion of the Amundi Evian Championship. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Grant.
Morgan, that smile says it all, doesn't it?
She's got a wonderful personality, very lovely player, that a personality that really matches her game. And I think she showed that under pressure today, just a very calm nature, considering even though at times when she's looked calm in the past, she has admitted to not being so calm under the surface. But, I mean, that eagle, this putt right here on 18 to seal the deal, this club, she worked so hard on her putting, one of the best parts of her game. I've talked a lot to her caddy, Mikey Scott, about how she makes, when she's in practice, she makes it so hard, about as hard as possible for her to start the ball on line with this training aid. And she did it time and time again out here this week. That is why she is a major champion.
And why she is soaked in champagne here on the shores of Lake Geneva. So many opportunities went begging. Today, she seized the moment. When you think about what this championship has meant over the 24 years it's been played, no sponsor has paid out more prize money to women golfers for the last quarter century in the history of women's golf than Evian. $85 million, twice as much as the next highest amount. 30 years since it first became an event on the Ladies European Tour. 2000 it became an LPGA co-sanctioned event. 2013 it became a major, and today Ayaka Fudaway reaches the summit with a closing eagle to win by one.
Yeah, and you've got to feel, don't you, for Lauren Coughlin, Paddy Tavatanakert, who watched on from the practice chipping green, Steph Kyriakou, so long the leader as well. But for the first time ever in golf, Japan has two major champions in the same season. Ayaka Fudaway with a finish that will be remembered for a long time. The bombs she holed at 14 and 15. The great tee shot at 16. She nearly holed another massive one at 17. And how thin is that line between success and failure with that second shot to 18 that cleared the water by the slimmest of margins to set up that eagle opportunity that ultimately meant that Ayaka Fudaway was a major champion. The 24-year-old from Kobe suffered heartbreak by missing out on the Olympics. Well, that has all been wiped away in this 30th edition here in Evian. The winning moment for Ayaka Fudaway. What a wonderful final round. What a memorable day for Ayaka Fudaway. From all of us here at Evian, it's goodbye for now.